So today we had a decision from Federal Reserve about raising rates in United States by 0.25 as most analytics predict. But what will happen next and how it's gonna affect the market? Let's take a quick look on the gold, on the oil, on some other commodities, and just try to find a next profitable trade. Well, today's Federal Reserve raised the rates as predicted by 0.25, and what we can hear from Jerome Powell is that they will do next moves according to the next released data. And what can we actually said? Because a couple last weeks ago we hear from some Federal Reserve officials that they consider two more raises, now in July and probably in September, as next meeting is in September. But if we take a look on this chart we've got here, we can see that currently level of rates in United States is much higher than PCI and much higher than CPI per year. So, and we can clearly see the top of CPI and PCE point in this market that was reached in June 2022, and since then when we had 1.62, 1.625 exactly, the rates was keep rising and they cross in November. They were already higher. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that if PCI won't rise again or CPI won't rise again, we will not see next rates rising from Federal Reserve this year. So let's take a look on the gold market, on the oil market, and maybe on some other markets to consider what can we see on those markets. And here we have gold market, which was showing us that there is a strong support in $1950 per ounce. And at the moment the gold is rising, but we have to reach more than 1980 to say that we will be able to attack $2,000. It's hard to say at the moment, so we can expect some more information on Thursday morning and Friday morning that will probably guide the gold for the next couple of days and maybe next 2-3 weeks. So I don't expect too much as it's a holiday season. So let's hope this gold will keep rising to $2,000 as it should be rising to $2,000, and then we'll take a look closer on it. We'll take a look also on the coffee market, and I'm ready to say that we are at the moment on a next consolidation level. We had one here for the whole May and most of June, and now from the beginning of July we have also quite tight because it's only 10 cents, right? It's 155, 165 for the whole July. So I think it's we can say it's at the moment on a brief level that it will be hard to expect that this market will move more unless we've got some more information about the El Nino impact on Asian coffee farmers, and maybe some Brazilian farmers will start selling more coffee, as at the moment they hold selling because they claim the price is too low. Of course, if you are longer than 2 years on the market, you remember the prices on coffee around 100 cents per pound, so 160 it's much more. So I don't know what they're complaining for. Anyway, we see that this market is now in a consolidation, and until there is some new news about coffee markets in Brazil or Asian markets, there won't be big change on this. and I promise we'll take a look on the oil market. And oil market is rising, and it's end up out of this small $4 consolidation I was expecting to be for this whole summer, and now it's rise above. So it's really surprising, as United Arab Emirates claim that it won't be any more cuts from OPEC Plus, and we don't know if Saudi Arabia will extend their volunteer 1 million barrels per day cut more than July and August. If they will expand it for September as well or more. From my point of view, I don't think Saudi Arabia is able to keep extracting oil under 10 million barrels per day. At the moment, they extract around 9 million barrels per day. So I think it's a bit too low for that price for their budget to fit their expectations. So it's hardly possible that they will rise production from September. And please remember that Russian export cuts doesn't mean they stop extracting oil. So it has an idea that they still have those oil in their warehouses, not send it directly to the market after extraction. So it's still on the market, so it shouldn't affect the world oil market, and or it should affect it on the other side, on the bearish side as well, because Russia can drop those unsold, unexported oil to the market at any time they wish for. Anyway, I wish to take a look also on one more commodity to make sure we'll cover, because natural gas on this market, it's still in consolidation. I think we had some breakouts here, and it looks like, from a certain point of view, let's quote the Star Wars, that it's some kind of bearish trend line for those couple last days, most of July. But I think this is hardly underpriced. I know the storage is 14% above 5 years average, but we had some problems with extracting natural gas in United States, as some wells are still closing. Of course, we had those 1 week, couple weeks ago, when there was adding 11 gas wells to operate, but since that it's still dropping. Before that it was dropping, so it's a huge number of closed oil gas wells. So I think we might start experiencing not injections but extractions from the storage in United States for the second half of this summer, especially if it's gonna be as hot as predicted. Also, a lot of fires on the western coast. It's affecting the market, might affect some sending lines, some pipelines, but to be sure, it's creating higher temperatures. It's not only from the sun, it's not only from the weather, but also this fire is rising the temperatures around it, so it will rise consumption of those west coast. So I think this natural gas is underrated and underpriced, so it should be rising, and I strongly think that we'll see $3 and more for natural gas this summer. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe, share and like this material, and of course comment if you find anything interesting or you have some comments. So thank you in advance and good luck on the market. This is Macro Point of View Commodities News.